Well, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. My name is Matt Light. I am the host of Life, Sarasota, and Real Estate, which is quickly becoming one of the top podcasts in Sarasota. It's been crazy. The thousands of people that have streamed this, have watched this in a very, very short amount of time is unbelievable. So you know what? We're just going to keep on doing it. Today, I want to talk about a couple of different things. Number one is we're going to talk about Waterside and kind of why it's my favorite up and coming area in all of Sarasota. We're going to dive into that. And then also Lakewood Ranch Country Club. The pricing is out. You probably haven't seen it yet. I have all the details from you directly from the membership director. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to show you on my screen for those of you watching the video. Those of you listening in the car right now, I will do my best not to bore you with numbers as we talk about what they're doing in the Lakewood Ranch Country Club. But first of all, I want to chat about Waterside. So Waterside is this area in Lakewood Ranch. It's east of the interstate, but technically it's Sarasota County because it's south of University. And the premise is you've got a couple of these really big lakes and you got houses all around them, crazy amenities, and then this own little mini downtown area called Waterside Place. When they're building it, like Waterside Place back in like 2019, you saw it, but you didn't really know what it was. Kind of looked like these new modern luxury type of apartment type things, and you didn't really know what it was. Well, here we are in 2024, and we do know what it is. You can go eat there. You can go. They got a splash pad there. My kids, they love it. When you bring them there, they got a volleyball court, walking path, bike path. Like it's pretty incredible. But recently, let me share my screen with you. Well, first, let's chat about a couple of the new neighborhoods that are coming. So this article is a little bit older. It's from February, but it talks about new communities coming in 2024, and pretty much all of them have now broken ground. And I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are on some of them. So I'm not going to necessarily say I'm going to badmouth a couple of them, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on them. So take with that what you will. So first of all, it is an area that is booming. Lakewood Ranch is booming right here. It talks about 66,000 residents and approximately 33,000 acres make up Lakewood Ranch right now. A large draw to it is just kind of the parks, the openness, everything like that. So let's scroll down really quick. Here are a couple, and they're missing one of the new ones that have broken ground this year. Let's start off with Avanti. Avanti is built by Pulte. I don't love it, guys. At the end of the day, I'm just going to go on record. I'm going to say it's not my favorite. And the main reason being is when we have brought clients there, I'm going to show you on my website. I have all the neighborhoods right here broken down. But here's a picture of what it looks like. And the common feedback you can see right here is it's literally a parking lot. And it feels like it's just concrete. Yep, it's cool that it's built on this lake right here, and right over here at the top, can't really see my picture. Down over into here, that's Waterside Place. So location-wise is nice. Across the lake is the alcove, built by Neil's Signature. But this right here, it does kind of feel like a parking lot. And they're kind of just ripping them up pretty quickly. There's not a lot of, in my opinion, thought put into it. Pricing is pretty good, in terms of it, but they're small. You got 1,400 square foot villas, 1,600 square foot townhomes. They're not building, massive homes because they can't. It's literally a parking lot. Up next, we've got Emerald Landing. So Emerald Landing is built by David Weekley. They're becoming a little bit more popular in our area because they're getting some more developments and whatnot. I love the location of it. I've got a good friend that she's moving in there. She's actually a realtor as well. The unique thing about them is the way their lots are. Their lots are actually pretty small. And so they do like these, I don't know if you call it a bungalow style house, but it's a 2-story house. And that's how they can make up this square footage. And you notice on all these pictures, there's one thing in common. There's no front garage. You see that? And again, that's how sometimes these types of communities, when you have smaller physical land, that's how you can build more square footage in houses. You can put the garage in the rear. You can see again pricing. You're at 730,000, 800,000. That's kind of where these homes seem to be landing. They've got a community pool. Again, you probably walkable to Waterside Place, which is really nice and convenient. And some homes are on the big lake, so you got a killer view. Up next, we've got Shellstone. I'm pretty excited about Shellstone. It's built by Homes by Town. Homes by Town was the builder of Lake House Cove. I love Lake House Cove. Those of you that have seen a lot of my videos, I've talked about Lake House Cove. I've talked about the amenities that they have. I feature them in a ton of the videos that I do. And Shellstone, let me pull this up right here. They're going to have their own amenity center. Then they're going to have something called the Midway Sports Complex. I'm going to talk about that in a second because that's going to share it with Wild Blue. And again, it'll make sense once I share this map with you. But I think that they build a nice product. Homes by Town is a semi-custom home builder. So what that means is they're not going to say, here's a blank piece of paper, just draw, whatever it is that you want. They're going to say, hey, here's the outrigger floor plan. Oh, yeah, do you want to move this wall over here? Let's ask the architect. Yeah, sure, we can do that. I've even seen them take a floor plan that has a 2-car garage and add a 3rd-car garage. Why? Because the home site, it allowed for it. It's like on a pie-shaped lot. So they're like, sure, here's the price. Do you want to do it? So I like that about them versus other builders. Even if the home site allowed you to do it, they'd say, nope, we're not going to do it, not even going to consider it. So I do like that about them. And where they're building Shellstone, here is a map of all good things. That's zooming in, zooming out. Very crazy. So right here, these lakes, this is what Waterside is. All this stuff right here. Lake House Cove is here. Shellstone is going to be right over here on the east side of Lorraine Road. And just north of it is Wild Blue. And what do you know? Wild Blue, one of those in 2024 breaking ground. It's 550 acres. And it's all custom home builders. You've got Stock Development's the one who owned the land, and they sold off lots to Lee Weatherington, John Cannon, Arthur Ruttenberg, Anchor Builders, and then Stock. They're the 5th one. So each one is different depending on the lot that you want, the home site. So each one specifically is allotted for specific home sites. So like John Cannon, I think they're only allowed to build on 62-foot wide home sites. Anchor Builders, they're allowed the 1 acre, or excuse me, the 92s. So it really just kind of depends. But Wild Blue, you're going to be priced at $2 million to $6 million. And the unique thing about it, so Wild Blue, you're going to have that kind of traditional sit-down restaurant part of your amenities, but they are both sharing, Wild Blue and Shellstone, they are both going to be sharing the Midway Sports Complex, which is going to be smack dab in the middle of their communities. I'm going to pull this map up. This is on Lakewood Ranch's website. This right here is Wild Blue, and they're going to connect. And then right here is where this Midway Sports Complex is going to go. And spoiler alert, in Wild Blue, these home sites probably isn't public knowledge yet, so you can hear it from me first. But Lee Weatherington just bought these, so they're going to be building these ones right down over here. And so I think Shellstone's going to be an incredible community, as well as Wild Blue. And Wild Blue, the 2 million and up market right now is the hottest market. Those things are flying off the shelf. Just had another buyer message me today. They want to buy Wild Blue. They've got a, if they want a boat, they'll just have boat storage. It's an incredible community. I think you're going to see a lot of people sell their houses in Lake House Cove and buy Wild Blue, or in the Lake Club, because it's the same builders. The Lake Club are kind of across the way. They're going to sell and potentially move into Wild Blue because you're just closer to Waterside Place, and it's got this more beachy coastal vibe to it. So I think you're definitely going to see buyers jumping on and doing that. The other thing I want to talk about is Waterside Place. So in retrospect to all this, let me zoom over. This is Waterside Place, kind of coming right into where my cursor is right here. So Waterside just received an award. Waterside Place was awarded the top honor for Common Lifestyle Program of the Year. They have over 5,000 visitors each week for Ranch Run Night Wednesdays, food trucks, different farmers markets, like pretty incredible. And I think I've been saying this for the last several years, how if I was moving to the area or looking at upsizing in the current area, because I know there's a lot of locals that subscribe and listen to this podcast, I would be wanting to put my money in places that are going to have long-term value. And so places like that are certainly Waterside. Why? They're putting so much money into it. Like the county is investing so much money into it with that splash pad, with what they're doing outside, that if the county's doing and putting millions and millions of dollars into something, do you think that's going to decrease the value? No, it's not going to decrease the value. It's going to increase the value. So if you're buying in a place that is going to have long-term growth, it makes you feel much more secure about your investment. Now, obviously, prices are more expensive than what they have been in the past. I think the median price in Waterside, I think right now is $863,000. So for those of you looking to relocate to the area, that's the median price. So if you're looking for a $500,000 house, you're going to be in a townhome in Waterside. But if you're looking for a 24, 26, 2,700 square foot house, 2,300 square foot house, you're looking at $850,000 and up at the end of the day. So just kind of shooting through all this stuff. If you see base prices online, ignore that. This is kind of where you're going to land with a lot of those different things. So again, SNN did a whole feature on how they were recently recognized as Best in American Living Awards. Who comes up with these names and awards? I really don't know, but it lets you get a news article on you, right? So point being is I say all this because Waterside Place is being put on the map. And the downside to Waterside, if there was one downside to the location of it, to all this, I'm going to pull back up my map, is there are no golf courses here. So sometimes you might have somebody that's coming in and they're like, oh, I'm a golfer. I want to be on a golf course. You're not living on a golf course if you live in Waterside. You're going to live on a lake, most likely, or a preserve. However, that's where the Lakewood Ranch Country Club comes into play, because if you come just north right here, here is the Lakewood Ranch Country Club. So you're not that far. You're a mile and a half, 2 miles, if that, to get to the country club. It's just not in your backyard necessarily. So the Lakewood Ranch Country Club has been, well, let me just tell you a quick personal story. So when my wife and I, we were moving back to Sarasota, this would have been 9 years ago now. We went and we did a tour of Lakewood Ranch. So by the way, at the Lakewood Ranch Information Center, they used to take you out in a car, like with one of their liaisons or community members, and they take you out in a car, give you a tour of all of Lakewood Ranch and be a couple hours. They don't do that now. Now they got like computer screens where they show you it. But that is a great resource to use if you're learning and trying to get educated on the area. And the thing I love about Lakewood Ranch is they work well with realtors. So for example, if you're a buyer and say, hey, Matt, I'm not ready to pull the trigger just yet. I'm trying to get information. Great. Let me help schedule you an appointment at the Lakewood Ranch Welcome Center. Let me come and join you there, because now you're registered with me as your realtor in Lakewood Ranch. So if you were to go to a new home builder, you're protected that you have representation when you're going to go buy your new house, rather than you've heard a ton of my videos. If you don't tell a builder on your first visit, they reserve the right to not allow you to have a realtor represent you. And guys, right now, it is still free to you, a buyer, to use a realtor. It doesn't cost you a dime. So you might as well use one, and you might as well use a really good one at that, who knows what they're doing. I'll segue that into putting my content, or not my content. I'll put my contact information just on the screen right now so you can see that. My phone number, 941-256-3321 for those of you in the car, or info@mattlight.com. If you've got questions, I can certainly get you guys set up with appointments at the Lakewood Ranch Welcome Center and whatnot. So I want to talk a little bit more about Lakewood Ranch and the Country Club, because think about Lakewood Ranch, the Country Club is where a lot of this premise came from. And it's evolved. And when my wife and I did this Lakewood Ranch tour, they talked about the Country Club. And you know what? When we were there, they gave me a 2-day Lakewood Ranch membership pass. I still have that. And every time my wife and I, every year, we go through like a gift card little book or whatever, we see those, and my wife's like, can we just throw these out now? And now when I tell you the price of the initiation fee for memberships, you're gonna, your draw might drop a little bit. I feel like these 2-day memberships are like gold now, and I haven't used them. I don't know when I'm going to use them because I've got young kids. But yeah, anyway, I still have them. I don't know if they're still valid or not. They don't say they have an expiration. I bet if I brought them to the Country Club, they would be like, what are you doing here? What are you trying to do? Maybe the next buyer that, buys $1 million or $2 million house with my team, we'll just give them to. It's like, hey, here's this. Because fun fact, there's a 2-year wait list to join the Country Club. Yes, you heard that, for the golf section. We're going to break that down right now. So the Lakewood Ranch Country Club, this is, that's Wild Blue. That's another map. I'm going to share my little Google Drive with you so you can kind of see it. So the country club, think of it as if you live in the Lakewood Ranch Country Club, that does not guarantee that you have access to it, but it doesn't require you to either. So that has helped home sales, because at the time when those houses were $350,000, my wife and I, we were looking at them. We didn't have the money to go join the country club. And so we could never have even considered living in the Lakewood Ranch Country Club if they required membership. They don't require membership. So what goes along with that is you can literally live anywhere you want. I don't know why this is so sensitive when I screen share this. You can live on Siesta Key and join the country club. You can live down here in Palmer Ranch and say, oh, I want to join the Lakewood Ranch Country Club up over here. You don't need to live there to join it. It's like almost like a gym membership. And so talking about memberships, let's talk about what the different amenities are in terms of what you have access to. So you've got an athletic center, which includes pickleball courts, tennis courts, fitness center, things like that, pools. And then you have 4 different golf courses that you have access to. You got Kings Dunes, you have Cypress Links, you have Royal Lakes, and then Legacy, which Legacy just got bought out. I was out there filming, and it's like a ghost town. I was out there filming a golf shot for one of my videos, and it was great because I didn't have anybody. I could just kind of bring my golf club out where their old little putting green was and get a couple shots. But anyway, those are your 4 courses that you have you would have access to. In terms of pricing, let's pull this bad boy up. If you want to be a golf member at the Lakewood Ranch Country Club, it is now a $75,000 non-refundable initiation fee. So it's $75,000. You don't get any of it back. There are other courses like the Oaks Golf and Country Club is down in Palmer Ranch. They have, I think, I'd have to get updated pricing. It used to be a $60,000 initiation fee, but then if you sold your house, you got $45,000 back. So they had that. That is not the case in Lakewood Ranch for the country club. It's a $75,000 non-refundable initiation, and then monthly dues are over $1,000 a month, $1,041 a month. If you're a young professional under the age of 40, your family is $781 per month. Now, what that gets you access to is essentially everything. You get access to golf. You get access to all the practice facilities, the tennis, pickleball, fitness, the dining, the social activities, the main clubhouse, the lodge, all those different things that I showed up on the map. And which, by the way, if you want this, because this isn't on the internet, you can't go to their website and actually download this. If you want this, literally shoot me over an email. I've got my info on the screen right now, info@mattlight.com. Shoot me over an email. I will send you all of this stuff, this PDF, so you can see. You can just literally see everything that they have. So you can comment your email. You can send me an email at info@mattlight.com. I will get this. I will shoot this over to you, or my assistant Jennifer will get this over to you as soon as we possibly can. So moving on. If you're not a golfer, you don't need to pay $75,000. It's much less. If you just want the next one, all the things except for golf, it's only $15,000. So there's a big difference. And a large part of that is it's a 24-month wait list right now for golf. So if you have a 24-month wait list, you can do whatever you want with initiation fees or fees. You can make them go up like supply and demand, right? This is America. This is like you can kind of do what you want. So sports, you can have tennis, pickleball, fitness, dining, social activities, access to the clubhouses. That's a $15,000. And then it's $337 a month for your family. If you say, Matt, you know what? I live in Wild Blue, or I live in Lake House Cove, or any of these communities, we have our own fitness center. We have our own tennis courts. We have our own pickleball courts. We have our own swimming pools. I don't need that, but I want more of the social aspect. Then it's a $6,000 initiation fee, non-refundable, and it's $148 a month. And now you have access to all of the different social activities that they do, the main clubhouse, the lodge, which, let me just pull up this really quick, some of the social events that they have going on. You can see this on my screen that I'm sharing with you. If you're in the car listening, I'll tell you a couple. The Kentucky Derby, they have a Kentucky Derby party, NFL football Sundays, murder mystery, family fun night, movie night on the lawn. So they do a lot of different things, social activities for you to essentially attend. Now, let me preface that, and let me just make sure there's nothing else. Oh, here's other fees. So again, if you want this, I can email this over to you. I'm not going to bore the rest of you with telling you how much locker fees are, cart fees, athletic center, daily fees, all the other stuff like that. But the social aspect of it is very interesting to me, because when I think that was a bigger deal 10 years ago than what it is today. And let me explain. So in the last decade, builders they listen to buyers. And I think a common fear that people have is, I'm going to move to Florida. I've been living in the New England area for generations, and I'm the first one that's going to move there, and I don't know anybody, and I want to meet people. How do I do that? So now what builders have done is they have built these amazing amenity centers. You've seen me do some tours of them on my YouTube channel. And on part of that amenity center is they have a full-time activities director or lifestyle director. Basically what their job is they put on community events for you to get out and meet people in your neighborhood, your neighbors, because they understand everybody is from somewhere else. And so they're going to put on their own little community poker night or NFL Sundays or other things like that, very similar to what they're doing at the Lakewood Ranch Country Club. Now, granted, it might only be for the 500 homes in your neighborhood or 300 homes or 1,200 homes. So it all depends on how big your community is. Where the Lakewood Ranch Country Club, you're talking thousands and thousands of people. So yes, there's a bigger opportunity to meet more people when you're talking about thousands and thousands of people. But there are a ton of ways for people to get connected. And I do believe, and this is one thing that my team and I, we try to pride ourselves on, is helping you, a buyer, buy a house and find the right house. That's easy. Like, we're really good at our jobs. We've got great inspectors, great lenders, great attorneys. We can make a transaction as smooth as butter. Like, this is what we do. But I think what's even bigger than that is I want my team, the Matt Light Group, to be recognized from going a little bit further. And I think, some of the most meaningful times in life are when we are connected with other people. And so I want to help you do that. And so that might be, hey, Matt, we're a boater. We want to boat. We want to fish. Okay, great. I'm not going to help you meet your best friend necessarily, but hey, here's the fishing clubs. Here's the boating clubs. Here's the director. Let me help you get in contact with this person because you're interested in that. No, that has nothing to do with you buying a house. That has nothing to do with an inspection. But I do think that I want, when I'm finished in real estate, whatever that is, however many years and years I have left of selling real estate, I want to be known that I was able to help get people connected into their next chapter of their life, because I understand moving is stressful. Moving is hard. Moving, it's not fun. And so, especially going to a place that you don't know anybody. I remember when I went to college. I remember going to college and I didn't know anybody. And my dad told me two things. He says two things of how you can meet people. You can ask them the question of, where are you from and what's your major? Everyone's from somewhere else and everyone's majoring in something. Questions that you can ask people here is, hey, where are you from originally? They're not from Sarasota. Pretty much guarantee you that. Otherwise, they're like a unicorn because it just doesn't exist. So everyone's moving from somewhere else. But my team and I, we want to help people get connected to community and other people for what they're interested in. So you can certainly email us at info@mattlight.com, call or text me at 941-256-3321, and we can, help start acclimating you, getting you connected to those things. Also, if you want this PDF right here, all these different PDFs, I didn't even show you all the other ones, fitness classes that they have going on. Granted, this might be dated by the time you're listening or watching this, but it gives you an idea of some of the events that the Lakewood Ranch Country Club is putting on. So, we want to be a resource for you. We want to help you get connected to people here. We want to help you find your next house, your next chapter. I understand, when I look at people buying and selling houses, it's like you have different phases of it, right? You've got, the newlyweds. They're going to get their first house, and then they have their first kid. Then the second kid's on the way, and now they're like, you know what? We need to upsize. We're going to sell that house, and we have a career change or a promotion, and we're going to change our house. It seems to be like every 7 years there's a big life change event, and then you become an empty nester, and then you're like, okay, what do I do now? I have all this space, and then you're getting ready to retire, and now you're you're tracking into waters that you don't know how to navigate necessarily. And that's where I want my team and I to come in. We have helped literally hundreds of people navigate those waters. And I think we've done an incredible job with it. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, for listening to this podcast in the car, for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Like, it's truly been incredible, the growth that we have seen over the last 4 weeks or however long we've done. How many, what are we? This is episode 4. And the thousands of people that have streamed this, have shared it, have liked it. It's incredible. So thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Make sure to check out, we've got I think the next 8 weeks lined up. With Saturday, I produce production videos on this YouTube channel of new homes. I've got some things coming out that are features of St. Armand Circle, Lakewood Ranch. I got some really good things that I think you're really going to enjoy. So anyway, thanks for joining us tonight.